I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
I feel like I know who Usher finna bring out. I'm telling y'all, I know the secret.
Young Miami is making headlines once again. And this time, it's not just about her music or her podcast. The City Girls rapper boring Kesha Brownlee has been spotted cozying up to NFL star Stefon Diggs, sparking rumor that she's officially moved on from her tumultuous relationship with Diddy. KS, but here's the kicker, her new romance is unfolding against the backdrop of Diddy's ongoing legal drama, with allegations piling up against the music mogul, including some truly shocking claims. Fans are left wondering if Young Miami is not only turning the page romantically, but also stepping into a much larger, more complicated narrative.
Right here, kick. Gotcha.
Diddy and Young Miami's relationship was unconventional from the start. The two went public with their situationship in 20,122 during the premiere episode of her podcast, where Diddy famously described their dynamic as dating, but with no strings attached. He said they were both free to see other people, a sentiment Young Miami echoed in interviews. On paper, it sounded modern, even liberating. But in reality, their arrangement seemed to come with its own set of complications, especially as Diddy's personal life began unraveling in the public eye.
So how would you feel about me telling people that I'm single because we go together?
During their time together, Diddy welcomed a seventh child with another woman, a revelation that sent fans into a frenzy. Why Miami, to her credit, maintained that she wasn't bothered by it, insisting their relationship was never meant to be exclusive. But as Diddy's mounting legal issues started making headlines, their connection seemed to fizzle out. And now, with allegations against Diddy ranging from misconduct to organized wrongdoing, it's no wonder Young Miami is keeping her distance.
We dating, we go have dates, and we friends.
Okay.
We go to exotic locations.
Here's where things get even juicier. Rumors are swirling that Young Miami might be cooperating with federal authorities in their case against Diddy. Some sources have speculated that she could be providing information in exchange for immunity, though nothing has been confirmed. Still, the timing of her public split from the Bad Boy Records founder and these newfound legal troubles is enough to raise eyebrows. Could she be pulling a page out of the survival playbook, distancing herself from Diddy while quietly ensuring her own name stays clean? It's a question that has internet buzzing. We are not done. And that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case? I'm not taking anything off the table to understand the depth of the situation. It's important to look at the allegations against Diddy. The charges are as shocking as they are damning. He's accused of orchestrating elaborate gatherings where participants were allegedly coerced into participating in activities they didn't consent to. According to legal documents, these events were meticulously planned with staff members allegedly tasked with arranging every detail from booking accommodations to ensuring the availability of specific items. The accusations even extend the claims of silencing witnesses and attempting to intimidate victims. If true, these actions paint a picture of a man whose empire was built not just on music, but on manipulation and control.
To the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how...
And yet, DY has denied all charges, with his legal team maintaining his innocence. His lawyer described him as a loving family man and a philanthropist who is the victim of what they call an unjust prosecution. But the court of public opinion isn't as forgiving. The leaked surveillance footage showing Diddy in a physical altercation with his ex-girlfriend Cassie added fuel to the fire. Though he publicly apologized for his actions in that video, calling it his rock bottom, the damage to his reputation was already done.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
Meanwhile, Young Miami has been adamant about clearing her own name amid the chaos she's taken to social media to deny any involvement in the allegations against Diddy, insisting that she has never sold herself a day in her life. Her statement came after her name appeared in lawsuits claiming she had been financially compensated by a Diddy for certain activities. Miami dismissed these claims as malicious rumors, saying they were blown out of proportion and taken out of context. "I'm not a part of any of that," she wrote in a no-deleted post. "I've been focused on my career and my kids."
Significant just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
Still, the rumors persist. Some have pointed out that Young Miami's name has been mentioned in connection with other controversial claims against Diddy, including allegations involving substances and questionable business practices. Though there's no concrete evidence linking her to these accusations, the mere association has been enough to spark speculation. And with Diddy's trial scheduled for May, it's clear that this story is far from over.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come?
For now, Young Miami seems intent on reclaiming her narrative. Her rumor of relationship with Stefan Diggs is a fresh start, a chance to move on from a chapter of her life that has been overshadowed by controversy. But stepping into the spotlight with a new partner isn't without its own set of challenges. Diggs, a star athlete with his own share of media attention, has so far managed to avoid the kind of scrutiny that comes with dating a high-profile celebrity like Young Miami. Whether their relationship can withstand the glare of public interest remains to be seen. As for Diddy, his legal troubles are only just beginning. The allegations against him have opened a Pandora's box of questions about power, accountability, and the darker side of the entertainment industry. And while he fights to clear his name, those around him, former partners, colleagues, and even family members, are left to navigate the fallout.
But there's also strategic reasons for the prosecutors to want him to have co-defendants, because right now he hasn't waived his right to a speedy trial, which would force prosecutors to take him to trial pretty quick, which they actually might not be ready to do. But if they supersede him and have co-defendants with him, it makes it a lot easier to pursue a trial continuance without him waiving his speedy trial right.
Young Miami's decision to distance herself from Diddy could be seen as a savvy movie, both personally and professionally. But it also raises questions about loyalty, morality, and self-preservation. Did she see the writing on the wall and jumped before it was too late? Or is she victim herself caught in the crossfire of a much larger scale? The answers aren't clear. But one thing is certain, this story is far from over.
Judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and sex trafficking case.
As the legal proceedings unfold, all eyes will be on Young Miami to see how she handles her newfound independence. Will she continue to thrive in her career, building on the success of her podcast and music? Or will the weight of her past with Diddy prove too heavy to shake off? And what about her budding romance with Stefan Diggs? Will it blossom into something real? Or is it just a temporary escape from the chaos? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the drama surrounding Young Miami and Diddy is a saga that fans won't soon forget. The story of Young Miami and Diddy takes another unexpected twist as we dive deeper into the relationships, history, and the storm of legal chaos surrounding the music mogul. This isn't just about a breakup or moving on. It's a tangled web of high-profile romance controversy and a scandal that's rocking the entertainment industry to its core. So how did an open relationship that seemed to thrive on mutual understanding turn into yet another chapter in Diddy's long list of controversies? Let's unpack it all.
Buying it all, Kana, and safety can mean a couple different things. Safety just doesn't mean free from harm of violence. Safety can also too means emotional and mental dynamics that could occur by Sean Combs reaching out to potential witness to get them to possibly change their testimony.
Young Miami and Diddy's relationship was anything but ordinary from the moment they went public during her podcast debut. It was clear they weren't following the usual rules of romance. Diddy made it clear they were dating, but not exclusive. Young Miami echoed the sentiment, famously saying, "We are dating. We single, but we're dating. People don't know what dating means. He's single, I'm single. But we're dating on the surface." It seemed lighthearted fun and drama-free, a modern arrangement between two high-profile stars. But looking back now, it's easy to wonder whether this no-strings-attached dynamic was part of a bigger pattern in Diddy's life.
We're going to simplify for everybody on this run right here. We're going to go with Diddy.
And that's final.
Yeah, that's final. But
Young Miami, the relationship seemed to have its perks. She was showered with lavish gifts, exotic trips, and public displays of affection. Who could forget the viral moment at the B Awards when she held up that bright red Go Poi sign while Diddy accepted his Lifetime Achievement Award? It was headline-grabbing, playful, and iconic. But even back then, there were signs that things weren't as picture-perfect as they seemed. Did he famously thank everyone except Young Miami during his speech, opting instead to shout out his late ex Kim Porter? And even gassy fans couldn't help but notice. And the internet was buzzing with theories. Was she just a passing face to him? Or was there something deeper going on?
So you heard him. If you a city girl, go get you a bad boy so you can act bad, because we acting bad. Some you heard.
we just enjoying life, living our fucking best.
As the relationship continued, it became clear that Diddy's complicated personal life was taking a toll. The announcement of a seventh child, Sean Combs, in late 2022 added fuel to the fire. While Young Miami played it cool, publicly insisting she wasn't bothered, it had to sting. After all, the baby was conceived during their time together. Diddy defended her on her own social media, writing, "She's not my side. Anything never has been, never will be." But by then, the damage was done. The public was already questioning whether Young Miami was truly happy in this arrangement, or if she was just along for the ride behind the scenes. Things were getting even messier. Diddy's legal troubles started bubbling to the surface, and Young Miami's name began to pop up in connection with some of the allegations. Lawsuits claimed she was one of several women who received financial support from Diddy in exchange for questionable favors. One case even alleged that she helped transport certain items for him. Young Miami quickly denied the claims, saying, "I've never been involved in anything like that. People love to twist things for clout." But the rumors persisted, and fans couldn't help but wonder if she was being dragged into something much bigger than she realized.
Both sides in the Sean Diddy Combs case have until today to give answers for how the music mogul has been communicating from jail. Combs appearing in court last Friday seeking bail while he awaits trial. He's been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
Forget that Young Miami wasn't just a passive participant in this whirlwind. While she publicly denied the claims, insiders close to D's team have suggested that she may have known more than she let on, according to leaked text messages allegedly exchanged between her and a former member of Diddy staff. There were moments where Miami appeared to question the nature of certain activities happening around her. In one message, she reportedly asked, "Why is always disappearing when things go down?" Though the messages remain unverified, they fueled speculation that Miami may have been more aware of Diddy's lifestyle than she's publicly admitted.
This is video of Diddy's family arriving to court for last Friday's hearing. Prosecutors arguing that he misused prison systems in an attempt to tamper with potential witnesses. And they say they have proof Diddy used other inmates' phone cards or used three-way calls with friends to contact associates that prosecutors consider to be a part.
Adding to the intrigue, a former associate of Diddy recently came forward in an anonymous interview claiming that Young Miami had been present at several key gatherings that are now under investigation. The source alleged that Miami often acted as a buffer between Diddy and some of his high-profile guests, ensuring that everyone stayed in line with his rules. While this paints her as more of a facilitator than a participant, it raises questions about how deeply she was embedded in his inner circle. Could her role have been more significant than initially thought? And if so, how much of that involvement is now being quietly swept under the rug as she distances herself from his empire?
The defense denying these claims and is pushing for his release under strict conditions, including a $50 million bond and 24/7 monitoring at a secured Manhattan apartment. There will be a hearing today where both sides will have a chance to clarify exactly how Combs has been connecting with the world outside his jail cell.
Meanwhile, fans are speculating that Young Miami has been subtly addressing the drama through her music and social media presence. Recent posts have included cryptic captions like, "Sometimes you got to let the whole tower fall. So can build stronger, and loyalty isn't blind. Don't confuse it with stupidity." While she hasn't directly commented on her time with Diddy, these statements have been interpreted as veiled references to the ongoing situation. It's clear that Miami is trying to reclaim her narrative. But as more details about Diddy's legal troubles come to light, staying silent may not be an option for her much longer. And then there's the timeline of their breakup. While the exact details remain murky, it's clear that the cracks began to show as Diddy's legal issues escalated. By early 2024, news broke that he was facing a series of shocking allegations, including claims of orchestrating elaborate events that involved coercion and manipulation. These weren't just whispers. They were detailed accusations, backed by lawsuits, witness statements, and even leaked footage for Young Miami. The writing must have been on the wall. Staying connected to Diddy wasn't as risky for her reputation. It could have had serious consequences for her future.
How did you all move on from such a public relationship and keep it all private? Like, there was no spill out, there was no mess, there was nothing for us to write about on Hollywood Unlocked. It was just...
What's fascinating is how quickly Young Miami seemed to distance herself from the chaos. By the time Diddy was arrested in September 2024, she was already making headlines with Stefan Diggs. The timing couldn't have been more perfect or more suspicious. Some insiders believe it wasn't just about moving on romantically, but also about creating a clean break from Diddy's unraveling empire. After all, she had spent years building her own brand, from her music career with the City Girls to her hit podcast Kisa. Please, the last thing she needed was to be dragged down by someone else's scandal. But there's another layer to this story that's even more intriguing. Rumors are swirling that Young Miami may have played a role in helping authorities build their case against Diddy. While there's no official confirmation, some sources claim she provided key information to investigators in exchange for immunity. If true, this could explain why her name has been largely absent from recent legal filings despite earlier allegations tying her to some of Diddy's activities. It's a theory that has fans divided. Some see her as a survivor, doing what she has to do to protect, while others do it as a betrayal of someone she once claimed to care about.
And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it, where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on watch.
As for Diddy, his situation seems to be going from bad to worse. His repeated attempts to secure bail have been denied, with prosecutors arguing that he poses a flight risk and could potentially intimidate witnesses. Court documents have painted a damning picture of his behavior, alleging everything from financial manipulation to outright threats. One particularly shocking detail involves a handwritten note found in his cell during a raid, where he reportedly instructed a family member to find dirt on 2 potential witnesses. It's the kind of revelation that makes it hard to believe he'll walk away from this unscathed.
Okay, some people do think that Diddy can help him, but this guy's going to be locked up forever. His case will probably take at least 3 years to litigate. He'll stay at MDC. There's rumors that he wants to go to Essex County Jail in New Jersey because he doesn't like MDC. He's
Okay.
a Marshals inmate. There's no way they're going to transfer him back and forth, I don't know, several times a week.
And let's not forget the role of his staff in all of this. According to lawsuits and witness, Tony's Did's inner circle was instrumental in carrying out his alleged schemes, from booking accommodations to ensuring supplies were on hand. They played a crucial role in maintaining the facade of his glamorous lifestyle. But now many of them are turning against him, providing key evidence to authorities. It's a classic tale of loyalty, only lasting as long as the money does. And with Diddy's empire crumbling, it seems those closest to him are jumping ship. Young Miami, on the other hand, appears to be thriving. Her rumored relationship with Stefan Diggs has given her a fresh start, and she's doubling down on her career with season 2 of her podcast in full swing and new music on the horizon. She's proving that she doesn't need Diddy or anyone else to stay in the spotlight. But the question remains, how much of her success is tied to her ability to navigate the fallout from the relationship? And is she truly free from the shadow of his influence? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye?